So maybe you're thinking about getting into backpacking, or maybe you're just looking for a new backpack. So you've gone online and you've looked at some of the top selling brands out there, and you were faced with sticker shock, $250 up to $450. And maybe that's just out of your price range. So do you have to spend $200 or more to get a quality backpack for backpacking? Well, I don't think you have to. Hey, this is Dustin with Boomers Outdoors, and I'm always looking online for good quality backpacking gear at affordable prices. And a few months ago, I came across this one. This is the Sierra Designs Gigawatt 60-liter backpack. And it lists on their website for $149.95, but I found it for $69.97. In fact, you can find it at Amazon at the time of this video for $69.97. So I've put this thing through its paces. I've got over 30 miles on it with different weight loads, and I'm ready to do a review. I'm gonna go over the specs, I'm gonna go over the features, and then I'm gonna tell you what I liked about it and what I didn't like. So if you're looking for an affordable backpack that's a good quality pack, go with me. Okay, so let's talk about the specs on the Gigawatt. And the first thing everybody wants to know is how much does it weigh? Well, according to their website, it weighs 4.06 pounds. And when I weighed it, I found that to be spot on. It weighs 4 pounds and 1 ounce. What about the dimensions? Well, it's 26 inches high, it's 11 inches wide, and 10 inches deep. The capacity on the Gigawatt is 60 liters, and it is cavernous inside. What about the materials? Well, it's made of a 300 by 400 denier ripstop polyester. And while it is polyester, those are heavy-duty materials. It also has an advanced perimeter frame. You can feel it right here that goes around the pack, which gives it extra stability. And it is removable in case you want to remove it for some strange reason. All right, let's move on to the features, and we'll start on the front. It does have an oversized stretch pocket on the front of the pack and on each side. You can see I've got a 1-liter water bottle in there, and it would hold 2 easily. On this side over here, I've got my tent poles for a 3-person tent, my bathroom kit, and I've still got some extra room in here. In fact, I could get a whole nother set of tent poles in there. It does have compression straps on each side of the pack to help stabilize your load. Here's something that's really neat. It does have a zipper here that allows you access to the inside of the pack in case you need to get something out on a trail. I also like the fact that it is double stitched and reinforced at the top, so that thing won't unzip all the way. Of course, it's got your little bungee compression straps here and your loops down here for your hiking poles. And at the bottom, compression straps that are extendable in case for some reason you might need to put a tent or another sleeping pad down there. Now, this thing is so big inside, I can't imagine having to do that, but you might have to. Now, let's move around to the back of the pack, and we'll start at the top. It does have a stash pocket lid up here that is made into the pack. There are 2 compartments in there. I like to use one of them for my rain jacket, my mid layers, and the other pocket I use usually for all of my electronics. You move down the pack, it does have an adjustable torso that adjusts really easily. It goes from 16 inches to 21 inches, which will fit most people. I've got it set at 20 because that's my torso length. So that's a really neat feature. If you'll notice, the load lifters, the straps on these things are extremely long. I like to run them down through these little compression straps here, and that makes it so easy to adjust them when you're on the trail. You know, a lot of times you're trying to reach back and find those things. They're right here. So that's really neat. The shoulder straps are really thick. They're made of some nice material. And then on the back of the pack, you've got nice padding up here that goes around between the area right around your shoulder blades, and then a lumbar padding is also very nice. Something that also does, it gives you a little bit of ventilation here right in the small of your back. And it doesn't have a ton of ventilation, but it gives you a little bit, and that's a nice feature. Now the hip belt on this thing is where it really shines. This thing is extra thick and extra plush. The hip belt pockets are massive. I'll just pull some of this stuff out of here. I've got 3 large granola bars in here, and then I've got 4 Elements. Now, Element is not one of our sponsors, but we drink so much of this stuff that they should be. In case you're listening, Element, we'd love for you to be one of our sponsors. Just saying that. On this other hip belt pocket, I put a bag of ramen noodles in there, just to show you how large they are. And then the belt, the adjustment belt, is a double strap belt, and it makes it so easy to tighten in. You can just cinch this thing down really nice. That's a great plus for this pack. On the inside of it, it does have a hydration pouch for your hydration bladder and 2 ports, one on each side at the top. So let's talk about the pros and cons. What do I like about this? Well, first of all is the overall design. Now, I really prefer a roll top pack, but this has a butterfly opening in the top. And when you open it up, it is just huge inside. It's cavernous. In fact, right now in here, I have a 5-day, 4-night loadout for the shoulder season. Now, normally on my Rock Series pack, I've got this front pocket stuffed full of stuff. I got everything in here except the temp poles and the bathroom kit. And to be frank with you, the temp poles would have went in there easily. I actually put some extra stuff in here just to fill this thing up because it is cavernous inside. And so I like it. It has plenty of storage room. Then when you take the stash pocket on the lid, the oversized pocket in the front and sides, and then the large hip belt pockets, you've got plenty of storage area to get to those items you need to get to in a hurry out on the trail. And that makes it really nice. So that's a big plus for it. The overall workmanship on this pack seems to be really good. I didn't find any loose hanging threads on it. I've used it now for over 30 miles and there's no wear and tear on it. I know that's not a lot of miles, but that's a pretty good amount of mileage. The only wear and tear I saw at all is where my cat attacked it one night. I had it sitting downstairs on the couch and one of our lovely cats decided it wanted to attack this pack for some strange reason, and it did. So here's something else that's a big plus. It's made by Sierra Designs. They've been around since 1965 and they offer a limited lifetime warranty. On most budget packs or entry-level packs, you're not going to get a warranty. Now, that brings me to one of the biggest pluses. It lists on their website for $149.95. And this would be a great buy at $149.95. I found it at Camp Saver for $69.97. It's on sale at Amazon right now for $69.97. You can't beat that for a budget pack anywhere. In fact, I did a review a few weeks ago about the Ozark Trail Kings River 60-liter pack. And that's a fairly nice pack, but this is a far superior pack. In fact, if you want to watch the review on that Kings River pack, I'll put a link to it at the end of this video. But I'm just telling you, for the money, I don't know if you can find a better budget backpack out there. But are there any cons on it? Well, there are a couple of cons on it. First of all, some people would say the weight. And 4 pounds is a little heavier than I like. My Rock Series pack from Nature Hike weighs, I think, 2 pounds 9 ounces. So it's about 1.5 pounds less than this. But if you compare this to traditional packs, like an Osprey pack or a Gregory pack at 60 liters, most of those are pushing around 5 pounds. So 4 pounds is really not that bad. Another thing, the shoulder straps on here are beefy, but the foam in here is really rigid. It would have been nice if they just put a little bit softer layer of foam on the inside here for your shoulders. Another con is there's no rain fly with this pack. So you're either going to have to buy one, or if you're like me, I've got some other 60-liter packs. I can just borrow one from one of those and stuff it up here in the lid pocket. And then another thing that's kind of strange is this front compression strap right here. You can see this pack is pretty much all the way loaded out, and this is already pulled all the way in. So what that means, if you have a load in here that's less than full, you really can't tighten this thing down. And so that's kind of strange. That is a design flaw really right there, that you can see it's full all the way and you can only tighten it so much. But that's one of the few things that I really found that I didn't like about it. Overall, do I like this? Yes, it's a really good pack. I love the hip belt on this thing. You can put it on, cinch it down, and it rides on your hips so well. It's really nice. Now, do I think it's better than my Nature Hike Rock Series 60 plus 5 liter pack? I don't think so. I really love that pack. Everything about that pack. It's got a roll top on it. It's 2 pounds 9 ounces. You know, it's made of 400 denier nylon instead of polyester. But I'm going to use this pack this year. Karen and I have got a couple of really big trips coming up, and so be watching for those because we're going to do videos on those. But I may use this pack, and it may change my mind. You'll have to just stay tuned to find out. Hey, if you have any questions about it, please put those in the comments field. Or if you have this pack and you've used it and you like it or don't like it, leave a comment for us. I love to get comments, and I answer all of them. And one final thing. And I used to never ask this, but I started asking this recently. If you've never subscribed to our channel, would you please consider doing so? Only about 4 or 5% of the people that watch our videos are actually subscribed. We should have a whole lot more subscribers than we do, but I've never asked for them. So, hey, I'm asking you to consider doing it. You know it doesn't cost you anything. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you got something out of it, and I hope to see you out on the trail sometime. Bye.